And hi again, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And hey, look at this. We got Philip Reynolds here. We got brother Jack Dawson. Hi, guys. Welcome in, welcome in. So we're returning to 1971 tonight. So Philip says he gets to see his daughter tomorrow. Great. That's great news, Philip. I hope it's a wonderful, wonderful visit, my friend. All right. So returning to 1971 again. This is we're taking our time with this. This is going to be going into the new legacy mode in Action PC Baseball. But 1971 is such a fun season. All right. So let's look at standings right now in the National League East. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in first place, 59 wins, 40 losses, 3 games up on the New York Mets, who are 54 and 41 in the National League West. The Atlanta Braves, 61 and 42, and they are 6 games up on the Houston Astros. They are 7 games up on the Giants, so the Giants closing up ground, and the Dodgers 8.5 out. And the American League East, the Detroit Tigers 3.5 up on the New York Yankees. Detroit with the best record in baseball right now, 65 wins, 32 losses. And 7.5 out, the Baltimore Orioles. Everybody else kind of finished in that one. And in the American League West, the Oakland A's with a 3-game lead on the Chicago White Sox and 7 up on the California Angels. Oakland at 55 and 40. Let's see what we have going here today. I think there are 3 games to choose from to finish out this day. And indeed it is. And let me go ahead and pop out these comments. Pop out comments. There we go. All right, and there we go, Mike. So, Sports Time Machine just did a nice All-Star game, the 1963 National League versus 2023 American League. So check that out on his channel. Did that in Strat PC. Good stuff. He says, "Yo yo familia." And Mark Unger just got back from the play. Hope all went well, my friend. All right, good, good, good. Also, to let you guys know that Basement Box Scores, their premiere happened. So that's a joint project there. So do check that out. Good stuff. So their channel is off and running, and I say they because it's a five person team there. It's good stuff. All right, guys. So let's get into it. We can choose Astros versus Mets, A's versus Tigers, or the Braves versus the Dodgers. So I think we'll do the Braves versus the Dodgers. Why not? Why not? Let's go to LA. Let's go to Chavez Ravine. Let's do it. All right. All right. Glad to hear it, Mark. Always good when a show gets off to a ripping good start. All right, welcome to Dodger Stadium. It's the Atlanta Braves against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Ron Reed will be tapped for the start for the Atlanta Braves. 20 starts in the year for him, 10 and 4 with an earned run average of 3.16. This will be his third go against the Dodgers, and against them, 2 wins, no losses, and an ERA of 1.80. Opposing him will be Claude Osteen. So Osteen with 24 starts in the year, 7 wins, 10 losses, an ERA of 4.19. And this will be his 4th start against Atlanta, and 1 and 2 against them with a 4.91 earned run average. Maury Wills is on a 14-game hitting streak. It is 77 degrees here at Chavez Ravine, and the wind speed is 8 miles per hour right to left. And let's go.
Play ball!
All right, looking at the starting defense for the 1971 LA Dodgers. In left field, it is Willie Crawford. In center, Willie Davis. And at right, Bill Buckner. At first base, Wes Parker. At second, Jim Lefevre. At short, Maury Wills, again with that 14-game hitting streak. And at the hot corner, Dick Allen. Duke Sims is behind the plate, and Claude Osteen will be facing Felix Mian to lead things off here. It'll be Mian, Gar, and Aaron due up for the Braves. Mian hitting 286 in the season with a home run and 36 runs batted in. Let's play ball. Osteen deals. This one Tapper back to the mound. Osteen up and over to Parker for the first out of the inning. And I just want to fix one thing here. We're going to let computer take care of Atlanta Braves. All right, here's Ralph Gar. Ralph Gar hitting 331 with 6 home runs, 47 runs batted in. So Ralph Gar pretty much on his real 1971 pace. So Mike says he originally wanted to do Paul Skeens versus Koufax. That would have been a hell of a lineup. It was a good game you had there, Mike. Good game. All right, here is the wind. And the 0-1 pitch. Gar up the middle, splitting Wilson Lefevre for a base hit. Good contact there by Ralph Gar. Ralph Gar with 24 steals in the season. Los Angeles Battery needs to get a good eye on him. And here is the hammer. Hank Aaron hitting 329, 31 home runs, 79 runs batted in. Again, on pace. On pace as he was in 1971. Osteen checks the runner. Speedy Gar at first. Wes Parker waiting for a throw over. 0-2 pitch. Runner does not go. Long fly ball. Deep right field. Buckner reaches up and grabs it for out number 2. Ralph Gar gets back to first base. There's catcher Earl Williams. Earl Williams is hitting 249. He's got 22 out of the park with 59 runs batted in. Osteen throws over. Ralph Gar is back. Plenty of time. 2-1 pitch. Lined into left. Base hit past Wills. Ralph Gar turning on the afterburners, and he'll make third. So the Braves, with runners at the corners, 2 down here in the top of the first inning, brings up Mike Lum, hitting 254, 6 home runs, and 39 runs batted in. So kind of nice to see everybody sort of on pace as they were in the 1971 season. Osteen out of the stretch, count full, fly ball, deep center field, but Davis has it on the track for the third out. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. We played a half inning here at Dodger Stadium. The Atlanta Braves nothing, and the Los Angeles Dodgers coming to bat. Starting defense for the Bravos in 1971. In left field, it's Ralph Gar. In center, Sonny Jackson. And in right, Mike Lum. At first base, Hammer and Hank Aaron. At second, Felix Mian. At short, Marty Perez. And at third base, Zoilo Versales. Earl Williams is catching, and Ron Reed ready to deal to Maury Wills. 14-game hitting streak, batting lefty against the righty Ron Reed. Wills hitting 282 with 5 home runs and 36 runs batted in. So right now, Maury Wills hit 281 in 1971 and hitting 282 right now. All right, here we go. Ron Reed deals 0-1 pitch. This one scorched to left. Maury Wills going for 2, the slide, the tag, and he is out of there. Out of there. So Maury Wills does pick up the hit to extend his hitting streak, but got a little bit of greedy there and kind of misjudged that ball's location. So 1 away, bases empty for Bill Buckner, hitting 321. Buckner, 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. All right, Enzo says, hello, Beatles, cuckoo, cuckoo. Of course, quoting a little bit from the Beatles' great psychedelic classic, I Am the Walrus, from the Magical Mystery Tour movie. All right, Ron Reed deals to Bill Buckner, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lazy fly ball into shallow left. Ralph Gar coming on, makes the grab. 2 up, 2 down for the center fielder, Willie Davis. Willie Davis with a 324 average, 5 homers, 61 runs batted in. Reed deals, 2-2 pitch, popped high in the infield. Perez out on the grass, makes the catch at short. So, no runs, 1 hit. Maury Wills got a little bit greedy. We've played 1 here at Chavez Ravine. We are scoreless. All right, Zoilo Versales, best known for his career with the Minnesota Twins, will be leading things off. Versales hitting just 172 for home runs, 21 runs batted in. And Aaron Reed echoing the Beatles as he says, hey, hey, cuckoo, choo. Also, of course, that line also used by Paul Simon in Mrs. Robinson. So there we go. I should have done that as a trivia question, but I didn't. I do have a presidential trivia question, though. So here it is. It's non-baseball, but it's a trivia question on us because they're fun. Who is the only president of the United States? He was elected president, and he was from a nation that lost a war. So who is it? Yep. Also references Joe DiMaggio. Absolutely does. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? A nation turns its lonely eyes to you. D. Smith, welcome in, man. He says, hey, y'all. A little bit of Thursday night baseball. All right, so Versailles at the plate. Osteen deals, first pitch swinging up the middle, and Murray Wills ranging to his left. Quick snap onto Wes Parker, and they get it by a half a step. So one away now for Sonny Jackson. Jackson hitting .259, 2 home runs, 30 runs batted in. And again, how the sim is playing out. Everybody pretty much on pace. 0-2 pitch up the middle, base hit. Atlanta picking up its third hit of the game. Here's Marty Perez hitting a .246, 2 homers, 30 runs batted in. So once again, our presidential trivia question tonight: who's the only president of the United States elected from a losing nation? In other words, so a country that lost a war. All right, Marty Perez. Sonny Jackson at first with 6 steals, 7 in the actual 1971, so maybe overperforming a little bit. Sonny Jackson is. The lefty deals, 2-1 pitch up the middle. Will's only play will be to Parker, and they just do get Marty Perez. All right, so 2 down and a runner in scoring position, and Sonny Jackson. Can I rephrase? Who is the only president in American history who was elected, and the only president who came from a country or nation who lost a war? It sounds like a trick question, but it's not. All right, here's Ron Reed. Ron Reed hitting .111, 2 runs batted in. And first pitch swinging, fly ball left field. Crawford has it. And that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second at Dodger Stadium, and no score. So Dick Allen leading things off here. So Dick, don't call me Richie Allen, hitting .323, 19 home runs for him, and 70 runs batted in. Ron Reed has the sign, 0-2 pitch. Bouncer to Versailles at third, and throws a strike to Hank Aaron to retire Dick Allen. Nope, not James Polk. All right, here's Willie Crawford. Willie Crawford hitting .301, 7 home runs, 41 runs batted in. All right, Ron Reed has the sign now from Earl Williams, and 1-2 pitch up the middle. Mian ranging to his right, bare hands, fires onto the hammer for the 4-3 putout. You got it, Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson. Born in Georgia, first president of the United States, and the Confederate States of America were not the United States of America. They seceded, and of course, Civil War, all that. Woodrow Wilson. So D. Smith gets it in 1. Beautiful, beautiful job, man. All right. So, and the reason I bring that up is because there's a great documentary on Amazon Prime about World War I called The Great War, but it's really about America's involvement in that brutal war, and it's really, really interesting, and it kind of frighteningly, some of the things that Woodrow Wilson did once we got into the war kind of parallels what's going on. Yeah, a little bit of a trick, but interesting, but it is nonetheless true. But yeah, so it's like 3 episodes, an hour and like 55 minutes about the war that really shaped modern culture much more than World War II did, and probably the most brutal war ever fought. My interest in World War I is because of that change. It was the last notion of the Romantic War, and I also think that in America, it tends to be a forgotten war, which is kind of frightening, considering that in 10 months you had twice the casualties that you had in Vietnam. But it's great. You get to hear the story of Alan Seeger, And of course, his great poem, the Rendezvous with Death. And I strongly suggest it. It's an excellent documentary. I'll be watching part 3 tonight after this broadcast. All right, here's switch hitting Jim Lefevre batting in the number 6 slot for the Dodgers. Lefevre hitting .256, 7 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Reed deals 1-1 pitch. This one hit high and deep to right, but Mike Lum racing back on his horse, spurring it on and making the grab. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 complete here in Los Angeles. No score. Question is, was the Confederate States ever really a country? Yeah, well, actually, no foreign nations recognized them. There was the United Kingdom and France did, but so technically they were. They had their own constitution, gave their president a line item veto, which all presidents have wanted that line item veto, and a 6-year term. They had a cabinet. They had their own money, their own postage. So, yeah, I mean, for us, they were the Confederate States of America. So, you could go back and forth on what that is, but what's interesting, I think, about that is how divided we were, such that one part of our country had its own constitution. So, yeah, so good stuff, fun stuff. Well, again, I think so self-determination of a country, that's certainly one. You can call yourself a country, but do you have a constitution, a cabinet, a standing army? So, I mean, again, we can pick nits, but I just thought it was a fun little question. It would be an interesting debate. We should I've wanted to start a history channel. I really have wanted to start a history channel for a long time. So maybe that'd be something to do down the road. Just try to keep it as apolitical as possible, although I agree with George Santayana, those who do not learn from the mistakes of history are doomed to repeat them. All right, back at the top of the order for Felix Millan, grounded back to Claude Osteen in the first inning. No score. Osteen deals 0-2 pitch. Lefevre and Parker converge, but Lefevre up with the ball goes to Parker for out number 1. I would love for you to be part of it, Mark. I was thinking about creating some things, some neat, more multimedia stuff with it. So not just a talk channel, but maybe we do some things, and then just talk. Maybe look at some primary sources. I've been doing a lot. Hey, Hot Wheels head-to-head racing. He says hello, baseball replay, baseball fans, and I'm sure that you're way ahead of me and your what is it? You're doing 1982, I believe. You're probably already in 1983 in the legacy mode. But also looking at primary resources like Punch from England and Puck from the United States, different times in history, because there's nothing better than looking at a primary source, and those of you who love history know that best. We might even incorporate some baseball history in the History Channel, because everything has history, even history. Ralph Garr is 1 for 1, grounded a single up the middle. Osteen deals 0-2 pitch, lazy fly ball to right, and Buckner trots over and makes the one-handed glove, almost nonchalantly. D. Smith says, no history buff, but cheat a little that I heard that trivia question, but it's technically knowledge that I have. It works. And you know what? You could get on Jeopardy, and that could be the one where you could go all in. All right, here's Hank Aaron. He is 0 for 1. Flew deep down the right field line last time up. Osteen brings 1-2 pitch. This one drilled to center. Aaron thought about 2, but he'll hold it first. 4th hit for the Atlanta Braves, and it brings up Earl Williams batting with 2 down. Catcher singled over short back in the first. Osteen brings it 0-2 pitch. Bouncer to Wills. Plenty of time on the 6-3 putout to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Bottom of the 3rd here in L.A. No score. So Atlanta and Los Angeles both in contention here in 1971. All right, Wes Parker due up. Duke Sims and Claude Osteen. So Parker hitting .283 in the season, 5 homers, 51 runs batted in. So again, on pace. Reed deals 1-2 pitch. Reed over off the bump to his right, and a strong throw to Hank Aaron for the 1-3 putout. So one away here in the bottom of the third inning, and it does bring up Duke Sims hitting 309, 7 home runs, 26 runs batted in. So maybe a little bit overperforming on batting average, but kind of right on the nail with his other numbers. Hey, good day thus far, JT. A little chilly back here again in the old Commonwealth. Hope all is well on the left coast. So Dodgers beat Baltimore on your 1982 replay. So did you use Legacy mode then, Hot Wheels, and how's that working for you? Because Legacy will be following once I finish up, but this season has been a lot of fun to play, and I usually don't do season replays, but I'm having a blast with this. All right, here is the wind and the pitch to Duke Sims on a 2-1 pitch, and grounder to Hank Aaron. It makes a perfect hop up into his glove and takes it to the bag himself. 2 down. Claude Osteen hitting 192, 4 ribbies for him. And the pitch, 2-0 pitch. Little number back to the mound. Ron Reed off to his left. This time feeds on to throws over to first, and that's it. 3 gone here. Still no score. Mike Lem, Zoilo Versalles, and Sonny Jackson due up for the Atlanta Braves, leading this one 4 hits to 1. No score. LA has managed 1 hit. All right. So Mike Lum flew out to deep center last time up. 1-0 pitch, and Lum pops this one high in the infield, second base side. Lefevre calls off Parker and makes the grab. 1 up, 1 down for Zoilo Versalles, who grounded to short in the second. Osteen 0-2 pitch. Fly ball, medium left, and that's Willie Crawford making the catch. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the fourth as Sonny Jackson, who's 1 for 1, singled back in the second. Osteen toes the rubber, deals 1-1 pitch. Hard ground ball to Wills, has all day to make this play on to Wes Parker. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. No score. So Aaron Reed says opening day is 13 days away if you don't count today, and I'm not counting today. So we are less than 2 weeks away from opening day. Oh my God, a little warm, but all right there, says JT Dutch. You guys have some hot weather coming, and we have some cold weather coming. So there's going to be parts of California we're hearing you guys could be hitting the 90s, and we're going to be so next Monday it's going to be in the 60s here, JT, and on Tuesday it's going to be 34. So sucks. So last night, right, we had that warm night, and I'm still wearing just a t-shirt and stuff. Tonight I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, a sweater, flannel sweatpants, man, and I'm cold. So started playing around with Confused on Setup. It seems to show same roster as the 83. You just played in 82. You have to look for the rookies, and in that part, Hot Wheels, you've got to set up how you're bringing in rookies, and you have to assign the rookies. So unlike out of the park baseball, the rookies aren't going to automatically go to the teams that they were on in history. All right. Maury Wills, 1 for 1, extended his hitting streak. We're back at the top of the order for Los Angeles. Tried to stretch it into a double and was gunned down. So 15-game hitting streak now for Maury Wills. Got up to 94. That's a little unusual for Los Angeles this time of year. 1-2 pitch, and Maury Wills in there at the knees, and he looks at a fastball for strike 3. Bill Buckner, 0-for-1, flew out to shallow left. Ron Reed with the 0-1 pitch. Hard ground ball to Felix Millan, and he feeds that on to the hammer for the 4-3 putout. So good morning and good afternoon, and here is Willie Davis, who is 0-for-1. Popped to short. 1-1 pitch up the middle. Felix Millan, great range over there. 4-3 putout. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 4 in the books here at Dodger Stadium. Familia, and we have still no scores. So again, I remind you 2 things to check out. Basement Box Scores, the first broadcast on that channel, and also Sports Time Machine tonight doing an all-star game on Strat PC between the 1963 National League All-Stars and the 2023 American League All-Stars. It was a good game. Real good game, real tight game. All right, Marty Perez leading things off here. Ron Reed and Felix Mian for the Atlanta Braves. So Perez last time grounded to short. Osteen has the sign from Duke Sims. Here's the wind and the 1-2 pitch. And this one slugged out to left field. Crawford can only watch it just go over the fence. Marty Perez with his third home run of the season. And Atlanta jumps out to a 1-0 lead here as we are in the middle innings of this ball game. So Marty Perez getting his money's worth out of that one. That was a changeup that Osteen tried to get, but Perez waiting on that pitch and knocks it for 6. All right, Ron Reed is 0-1, flew out to left center last time up. Osteen deals on a full count and swing and a miss on a curveball. So one away back at the top of the order. Felix Mian has not gotten the ball out of the infield today. Osteen brings it. 1-2 pitch. This one twisting foul, left field line. Willie Crawford will watch it go about 12 back. Didn't expect to give up a dinger to Perez. Yeah, so Marty, they're sending one out of there. How about it? So if we look at him, we can't. Yeah, we can. Let's look at his real stats for Marty. So he did hit 4 home runs in 1971. In our replay, that's his third. So again, he's pretty much on pace for where he was. But yeah, that's somebody you're going to expect to knock one out. All right, Osteen dealing now to Felix Mian, who is 0-2. Again, not getting it out of the infield. 1-2 pitch up the middle, base hit, driven hard past the glove and under the glove of Lefevre. So Mian is aboard, and Felix Mian, 9 stolen bases right now. And here's Ralph Garr. Good hit and run tandem right here. Last time flew out down the shallow right field line. Sims out to have a quick word with the hurler. Osteen deals 1-0 pitch, and this one spanked into left. Felix Mian ripping around second, and he will make third easily as the throw hits the cutoff man. So runners at the corners, Ralph Garr with 24 steals in the season. And here's Hammer and Hank Aaron. He is 1-2, singled back in the third. And this one lined right to Dick Allen. Mian getting back quickly. He avoids getting doubled off. Earl Williams, 1-2. Grounded out last time up from the stretch. And Osteen to Parker on the 2-2 pitch. That retires Williams, but 1 run on the Marty Perez home run on 3 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Braves lead the Dodgers 1-0. Dick Allen lead things off here for JT Dutch's Los Angeles Dodgers. Willie Crawford and Jim Lefevre to follow. So Dick Allen in the game grounded to third back in the second. Allen certainly with the power to tie this game up with a swing of the bat with 19 dingers thus far this year. Ron Reed deals 1-2 pitch. Ain't going to happen this time. That changeup in there at the knees. 1 away. Aaron Reed says played 1998 with Pure Sim a while back. Mark McGwire hit 80 home runs. Wow. All right, here's Willie Crawford. Grounded to second, back into second. I know you're a big fan of Pure Sim baseball. I like it too, and I wish that Sean Sullivan was really actually going to come out with a sequel, but it's been 11 years. I really don't think it's going to happen, and that's too bad. 1-2 pitch to Willie Crawford, and this one lined over first. This was going to get in the corner. Mike Lum gets it in the corner, and Willie Crawford, strong throw. The tag by Versailles, not in time, and Crawford has his 5th triple of the year. Potential tying run for the Los Angeles Dodgers, just 90 feet away. And here is Lefevre, who flew out to deep right his last time up. And by the way, it was Mike Lum that made the throw, not Lefevre. Mea culpa. Ron Reed from the stretch, and the 1-2 pitch. Soft liner to Felix Mian, 2 down. It's up to Wes Parker to try to even it up, but he grounded back to Ron Reed last time. Just a little tapper off the left side of the mound. Reed brings it, full count, and gets the strikeout. Called strike 3 on a fastball. So the Dodgers waste the triple. We go to the top of the 6th, 1-0 in favor of the Atlanta Braves. Hot Wheels says at this point, can't wait for you to catch up and do a video walkthrough setting up the legacy mode. I'll keep working on the setup, trying to figure it out. You're a rookie. No worries. We'll get there, my friend. We'll get there. It's we're over halfway. We're at the halfway, or a little over the half. Yeah, July 24th. So I think we're just over halfway. Just been having a lot of fun with this one. All right, it will be Mike Lums, Oliver Salas, and Sonny Jackson due up for those Braves. And the happy days before the tomahawk chop, I might say. Mike Lum, nothing for two. Mike Lum, not known for the big bat, but he did bang out 6 thus far this year. Osteen deals, and behind 3-1, and Mike Lum will get the free pass to first. So this one missing outside. Osteen now faces Zoilo Rosales. If I had out of the park baseball, I could look and see where he is in his career. I really wish somehow Action PC would add that. So maybe if somebody wouldn't mind checking where Vasalis is in his career now in 1971, because not a very good year for him. Had 194 at bats, hit just 191, and hitting 169 in our replay. He has managed 4 home runs, though. All right, Mike Lum, absolutely no threat to steal over there. Osteen deals. 1-1 pitch. This one ripped to right. Buckner up with it and fires it in and hits Jim Lefevre. Cutoff man, so Mike Lum will hang out at second. 2 on here for the Braves, threatening as Sonny Jackson comes to the plate. Singled and grounded out in this game. Osteen waits for Sims. Sims down with the sign, and Osteen brings it. And throw down. Mike Lum trying to steal. What did I tell you? So the caught stealing. My, oh my, Atlanta Braves, what were you thinking right there? Stealing with Mike Lum? My goodness gracious. So I do believe that Mike Lum had, like, no stolen bases. Yep. These are our replay stats. Look at our real stats here for a second. I'm just curious about this. So I never thought of Mike Lum as no stolen bases. So that's okay, though. I'm not looking for an exact, just believable. But what was it last night or the other night in the game that we did? And it was in payoff pitch. And it was somebody who was stealing a base that should not have stolen a base. And it didn't happen anyhow. I can't remember who it was now. All right, Sonny Jackson back in the box now. 0-1 pitch up the middle. Will's only play will be to Wes Parker at first. On the play, Zoilo Rosales will move into scoring position. 2 away for Marty Perez, who homered his last time up. Osteen deals. 0-2 pitch. Long fly ball to left field. Crawford back and short of the track makes the grab. No runs, 1 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Braves lead 1-0. Wild call by, to steal with Mike Lum, right? The Lums are wild. JT says wild by Lum Harris to steal with Mike Lum. Yeah, I didn't expect that, but Earl Williams obviously he didn't even have to come up gunning. He probably could have just, Mike Lum, like, come on. But anyhow, there we go. So Braves trying to add some insurance, knowing that this Dodger lineup can hurt you. They got a nice little mix of speed and power. In fact, if you take Hank Aaron out of the equation, and looking here, it looks like the Dodgers a little bit more balanced to me. Trying to catch up here, as are the San Francisco Giants. Right now, it's Atlanta holding down first place in the National League West. All right, Duke Sims is 0-for-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Sims, Osteen, and Wills in a 1-0 game. Ron Reed deals. 2-0 pitch. And Squibber back to the mound. Ron Reed feeds it on to the hammer for the 1-3 putout. 1 up, 1 down for the Dodgers now. And Claude Osteen, who was 0-for-1, grounded the pitcher last time. And Grabarkowitz comes in to pinch hit and promptly taps it out to Marty Perez. So there we go. Just that quickly. 2 up, 2 down. Maury Wills struck out his last time up. 15-game hitting streak now for him. Entered the game on a 14. 0-2 pitch. Wills sends this down the line to left. Gar back on his horse at the track. Makes the grab. We're going to go ahead and let the computer manager pick the pitcher. Ron Reed leading things off here, unless he's not going to pitch for himself or hit for himself. And we've got Mickelson in there and promptly pops out Ron Reed. So Pete Mickelson's numbers look like this: 1 win, 2 losses, 2 saves, 49 innings pitched for him. All right, Felix Mian, 1 for 3. Singled as his last time up. Mickelson deals 0-2 pitch, sky to right. Bill Buckner calling off Willie Davis for out number 2. Ralph Garr having a good day. He is 2 for 3 today. Mickelson deals 1-1 pitch, base hit for Ralph Garr. Ralph Garr was thought about tearing off to second. Buckner coming in on that play. Good momentum. There's no way Garr's going to make that even with his speed. Third hit today for Ralph. Would have left Osteen in the game, but it's a fine enough move. All right, so Duke Sims, not the strongest arm behind the dish, needs to watch Ralph Garr. Hank Aaron, 1 for 3. I don't expect a hit and run play here, but that's exactly when something could happen. And pitch out. Sims was up, had the arm cocked to throw down to first, but Ralph Garr wasn't biting. Let's do it all again. Throw over. Ralph Garr back. Just ahead of the sweep tag there by Wes Parker. Mickelson sets and fires. 1-0 pitch. Runner was moving. Ground ball. Base hit into left field. And Ralph Garr, using his speed, moves to third. So another chance here for Atlanta to try to add some insurance. 2 down for Earl Williams. 1 for 3. Grounded to the pitcher last time up. Mickelson from the stretch. 0-2 pitch. Fly ball to left. This should end the inning. Willie Crawford has it. 7th inning stretch time here at Los Angeles Dodger Stadium. Chavez Ravine, baby. No ice agents to be found, thank God. 1-0 in favor of the Rays. And we're back. You know, I've been playing out of the park baseball or Action PC baseball since 2017. And I don't know, this has probably always been in there. I never realized that the park effects are right up there, right top, because I usually just look up here at the weather and blah blah blah. But I never realized this before, that the park factors, have they always been up there? Action PC guys, because I've never looked. I wonder if this has been within the last edition or two. I don't remember seeing this. So that's pretty cool. So this is definitely a park that's better suited for this year, 1971, for righties. So pretty cool. Never knew that. So the lone run in this game, for those of you that might be interested, was the Marty Perez solo shot back in the 5th. That's been it. Atlanta, 1 run, 10 hits, no errors. For the Dodgers, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Atlanta is stranded 9, and Los Angeles has just had no chances. So you believe they have been? I don't know why I never noticed that before, JT. Weird, man. All right, Buckner, Davis, Allen, due up for the Dodgers. Bill Buckner is flown out and grounded out. Lefty in the box. Ron Reed has the sign from Earl Williams. Here's the wind. 1-1 pitch. Buckner sends this deep to right field. Lum back, and at the edge of the track makes the grab. So Buckner gave it a ride, but 0 for 3. And 0 for 2 is Willie Davis. He is popped to short and grounded to second. Reed brings it home. 1-1 pitch, and this one scorched into right center field. Sonny Jackson getting to that ball, firing quickly back into Felix Mian. And I always ignore the poor play stuff. I don't know what that even means. He played it on a hop. It was a good play. That's the only thing that's weird about this. Like, Action PC is really good with great plays, but it's questionable on poor plays. All right. Anyhow, a poor play would have been it skipped past him and went to the wall. All right. Anyhow, Willie Davis on board, 13 steals, and Dick Allen, nothing for 2, struck out his last time up. Of course, the perennial question is, do you take the bat out of a power hitter's hand to try to advance the runner. Dead ball baseball says yes. Earl Weaver style baseball, 1960s, says no. 1970s, anything goes, gents. Throw over. Davis back. Reed checks the runner, looks home, has the sign from Earl Williams, sets and throws over. Good move to first, but Davis back. Crafty base runner over there. So poor play. Davis will be on second or third. Absolutely. So that's something I hope they can work on. The great plays work out great. The poor plays, I usually don't even call them. Catchable ball, range check, says D. Smith, and Sonny didn't get to it or got a bad jump. Could be. We'll use our imagination. It could be either or. But there are some things where it would be a poor play, and it's just like a sort of routine single when it gets under the glove of the shortstop. So, all right, Reed deals to Allen. 1-1 pitch, and look at this. Past Marty Perez into left field. All right, 2 on for the Dodgers, 1 down for Willie Crawford, who was 1 for 2. And he hit that wasted triple back in the 5th. So Dodgers threatening here. Ron Reed right now working on a 4-hit shutout. The Dodgers adding 2 hits in this inning. And here's the pitch. 0-2 pitch. This one grounded to first. Aaron to Perez, but the throw back to first is too late. So 2 down. Dodgers with runners at the corners. And again, they've stranded only 1 base runner. And that was that triple. Here's Jim Lefevre, nothing for 2. Ron Reed working out of the stretch. 0-1 pitch. Fly ball deep to center field. And Sonny Jackson leaps and robs him of a home run. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We've played 7. It's still 1-0. And Pete Mickelson will be staying on in relief. He's given up 2 hits thus far. Mike Lum, who was caught stealing last time after a walk, is 0 for 2. Mickelson brings it and loses Mike Lum on 4 straight pitches. So Mike Lum on the base paths for the 2nd time today. And here's Zoilo Rosales. It's actually Zoilo Rosales. Sorry. And this one bunted. Mickelson's only play will be to first. So a little bit of small ball there. And here comes Sonny Jackson now. Runner in scoring position for Atlanta. Sonny Jackson in the game is 1 for 3. Mickelson brings it 2-2 pitch. And curveball. Big swing and a miss by Jim Lefevre. And here's Marty Perez. Perez with that home run. He is 1 for 3. Mickelson deals. 2-1 pitch. High fly ball to left, but too high and not deep enough. Willie Crawford reels it in for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 8th here in Chavez Ravine. 1-0. Braves over the Dodgers. John DFW, welcome in, bud. How are you? As Aaron Reed told us, 13 days till opening day. I can't believe it, man. So I love it. The World Baseball Classic, Italy doing a little bit bench jockeying as the United States kind of so Italy, of course, beat the United States. Then they beat Mexico, and I forget who it was now with the Italian team, and they were saying, yeah, we were kind of thinking about you guys sitting in your hotel room. So with Italy's victory over Mexico, the United States do get into the quarterfinals. So the United States, as Shelby Foote said, that before the Civil War, it was the United States are, then after it, it's the United States is, and we accept that grammatic error, and it still trips me up. Having been around since 1832, you understand, the Italian mafia. All right, there's actually 3 mafias in Italy. Not families, but 3 distinct mafias in Italy. One in Sicily, one in the Calabrian region that is like that little strait there, and then one in Napoli. There we go. There's your mob trivia for the night. All right, Wes Parker, 0 for 2 to lead off the Dodgers 8th here. Reed deals 1-2 pitch. And changeup catches the outside corner. All right, what away. Duke Sims, 0-for-2, has not gotten the ball out of the infield. Reed pitching a hell of a ball game right now, working on a 4-hitter. And this one spanked deep to right field, but Mike Lum reels it in for out number 2. Will Pete Mickelson bat for himself? Only his hairdresser knows for sure he will not. Sudakis comes in, lazy fly ball to right, and it's the Mike Lum show. We go to the 9th, and Atlanta will send up Reed, Mian, and Gar. Too much information. Parents were dating Atlanta during this 1971 season. Nice. All right, who are they going to call? They're going to call Vance in there, Wills to Parker. So Sandy Vance inducing the 6-3 putout. Vance's numbers, 1 win, 3 losses, and he's worked 23 2/3 innings. He's given up a home run. All right, one away back at the top of the Braves order for Felix Mian, who flew out to right center. He's 1-for-4 on the day. Vance deals 1-1 pitch, and this one in the alley to right, and Mian's going to have 2, if not 3. Davis up with the ball, hits the cutoff man, not in time. 7th triple for Felix Mian. There's Ralph Gar. He's connected safely 3 or 4 times today. All right, lefty in the box. Vance out of the stretch. Full count, and he loses Ralph Gar. All right, we're going to stop here and see what JT Dutch wants to do here. As Vance is nowhere near being up, let's bring up the bullpen. Let's see if JT wants to put in another pitcher. Vance is looking a little bit weak here. I don't know. I don't know, man. I think you got to either think about Hoyt Wilhelm at this point or possibly Jim Brewer. But what do you think, JT? Nobody's pitched. Al Downey's on short rest, so he's kind of out of the equation. Big game, so we could bring in a starter. Doyle Alexander also on short rest. You like Hoyt Wilhelm? You got it. Sonny Vance is just not looking like Dazzy Vance here. All right, so the great Hoyt Wilhelm will come in. Sandy Vance is done. So tall order to fill here for Hoyt Wilhelm. Looking at his numbers, a 0.93 earned run average. He's worked 9 2/3. In 1971, he had an ERA of 1.02. No wins, 1 losses, 3 saves, and 17 2/3 worked for him. And he is facing Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron, 2-for-4 with 2 singles. From the stretch, 1-2 pitch, and he gets the hammer to swing and a miss on a floater. D. Scott Howard joins us. How you doing, D. Scott? I saw you over there in Sports Time Machines broadcast. All right, Earl Williams. Wilhelm just needs to get this out. When we go to the Dodger 9th, it'll be the top of the order. Maury Wills, Bill Buckner, and Willie Davis. Earl Williams on the day is 1-for-4, had a single way back in the first inning. Wilhelm works out of the stretch, and 0-2 pitch. This one hammered high and deep. Oh my God. Earl Williams with a 3-run shot, and the Atlanta Braves now lead this one 4-0. Tail of the tape, 392 feet. All right, can he get Mike Lum? Mike Lum's been on base twice today with 2 walks, 0-for-2 otherwise. 1-0 pitch. Hoyt Wilhelm. Yikes. Line to right. Damn is right. All right, so, yeah. Okay, so aces, blah, blah, blah. Thank you, guys. Let's look at the bullpen here, just in case. Do we go with a lefty here? Do we go with the lefty Jim Brewer? We could go with Joe Mueller. You'd hate to waste Don Sutton. Earl Williams, very underrated player, says John. Yeah. You should look at his real numbers. What do you think, JT? Do you want to stick with Hoyt? All right. 4-0, going to take one for the team here. So poor Hoyt Wilhelm. He's not going to be in line for the loss, at least. All right, Wilhelm deals to Versailles. Fly ball, center field. Willie Davis tracks it down. Damage may have been done. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Bottom of the 9th. And the Atlanta Braves lead the Los Angeles Dodgers 4-0. Yep, this one's about over. I think you're right. Let's see, though. Willie Davis could be the catalyst here. Ron Reed working on a 4-hit shutout of the Dodgers. So Maury Wills singled and struck out and has flown out in this game. Reed up to 100 pitches. So here we go. 3-1 pitch up the middle, but Felix Millan, again, excellent second baseman, ranging far to his right, fires a strike to Hank Aaron. 1 up, 1 down. Bill Buckner 0 for 3. Here's Los Angeles having their bench. So Joe Ferguson has a high hit percent chance, but that average is, well, yeah, I don't know. Tom Haller, perhaps? Not losing faith in Buckner, but Buckner not getting it done today here, I think. What do you say, JT? Or we can just let Mr. Buckner hit. You know, I think it's a shame, and may his memory be eternal, that, you know, Bill Buckner was really a fine baseball player, but he's going to be remembered for that 1986 World Series, and I think that's sad. Just like Fred Merkle and Fred Snodgrass, excellent careers in the dead ball era, remembered for their gaffes, if you will, in 1908 and 1912. All right, JT's just keeping his hands off the keys, so we're going to stay. Oh, you're going to go with Haller? Okay. Tom Haller will come in to pinch hit. See if he can get it going with 1 down. Haller hitting .261, 4 homers, 24 runs batted in. All right, so Earl Williams, looks like Ron Reed shaking him off, has one he likes. He winds and deals. 2-2 pitch. Popped high toward third. Zoilo Versailles makes the grab. 2 down. It's down to Willie Davis. He got a hit today. We got to leave Willie in there. He's 1 for 3. The pitch, 1-1 pitch. Bouncer back to the mound. And Ron Reed has a 4-hit shutout. Let's look at our game recap. And so the Dodgers, unfortunately, no highlights for them. For the Atlanta Braves, 4 runs, 13 hits, no errors. And let's not mistake ourselves. Claude Osteen really pitched a fine game up until the 9th. And so I guess that's what really counts. So Ron Reed improves to 11-4. Claude Osteen falls to 7 wins and 11 losses. For the Atlanta Braves, Ralph Garr went 3 for 4. Earl Williams went 2 for 5 with a home run. And, of course, you guys saw it, that 3-run homer. Felix Millan went 2 for 5 with a triple and a damn fine day in the field as well. So that's the only 2 triples actually hit in this game, one by Willie Crawford and the other by Felix Millan. Let's look at our pitching really quickly. So Ron Reed, what a game for him. 9 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, and struck out 4. So sees his ERA go to 2.97. Claude Osteen, 6 innings pitched, 8 hits, 1 earned run, gave up that home run, walked 1, struck out 1. Mickelson came in 2 in relief, 2 hits, gave a free pass and a K. Sonny Vance worked 1/3 of an inning and gave up 1 hit, 2 earned runs, and walked 1. Hoyt Wilhelm came in 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run, and struck out a batter. Ron Reed should be your player of the game. Ron Reed is indeed your player of the game. All right. We'll go ahead and auto out the rest of the games. There's some other good matchups here, but we're going to go ahead and just auto play those. Don't always like to do that, but I don't think folks are in the mood for a doubleheader tonight. First up, Houston Astros versus the New York Mets. So Houston, 6.5 games right now as it stands behind the Atlanta Braves. And the New York Mets are 3 games behind the Pittsburgh Pirates. So the Pittsburgh Pirates were just swept by San Diego in a 3-game series. And here we go. And much to the chagrin of the Pittsburgh Pirates, the New York Mets take this one from the Houston Astros 3-2. McAndrew with the win, Larry Dierker with the loss, Danny Frisello with the save, his 10th. All right. Moving on now to Oakland and Detroit. Detroit with the best record in baseball right now at 65-32. Odom versus Kane. And this is going to be the Oakland A's asserting authority 9-2. Odom with the win, Kane with the loss. Dick Green goes 2 for 3, hits his 6th home run, and bats in 2. That takes care of Saturday, the 24th. We're going to play this out to the end of July now. Boom. And let's do it. And we'll watch the race. All right, Mark, thank you for coming in. He says, great call. And again, man, break legs, break legs, break legs. And guys, do check out Basement Box Scores. Great stuff. All right, so the Mets are putting heat on the Pirates big time. They are tied for first. Now New York by percentage points. Okay, Pittsburgh back in first. Let me see anything opening up big time here. New York and Pittsburgh battling it out. Battling out. The Pirates had not relinquished first place until now. They're back in first. Woof. This National League East is going to be nasty. So we're going to go ahead and go to August 1st for the games that will be coming up. So the Atlanta Braves now starting to feel a little bit of heat from the San Francisco Giants. We've been waiting for them all season to do something. They are 7.5. They are 7 out. The Pittsburgh Pirates, who have held no less than a 3-game lead in New York Mets, now just a half-game lead on the Metropolitans. In the American League West, Oakland still feeling, they're feeling heat all the way up and down the line, really. The only one out of the race in the American League West is Milwaukee. But the Chicago White Sox just 3.5 back, California 5.5 back. Minnesota, Kansas City kind of outliners at 9 and 9.5 respectively as we enter August 1st. And in the American League East, Yankees just 3 behind the Detroit Tigers and Baltimore 6 back. Everybody else is done. Stick a fork in them. So the Pirates will be playing the San Francisco Giants. So that's going to be a pretty meaningful game there. Bob Moose versus Juan Marichal. So we're obviously not going to play that one tonight. I think we'll just play the ones that don't really mean a lot and get them done for at least teams that are in contention. So Oakland and Cleveland, Hunter versus Hargan. Here we go. And how about this? The Cleveland Indians defeat the Oakland A's 9-4. Hand gets the win. Hunter gets the loss. Gene Tennis goes 1 for 3, hits his 3rd home run and 2 runs batted in. All right, for Houston Astros, the Houston Astros, of course, 3rd place, 10 back now. So Atlanta really opening things up in the National League West. Blasingame versus McAnally. And I didn't mean to do that. So let's just close that and just get the box score. So it's a 7-2 Montreal. McAnally with the win. Blasingame with the loss. Bobby Wine, 3 for 4 with 2 RBI and 2 doubles. Chicago White Sox now up 3 games behind Oakland. Oakland losing, so Chicago looking to gain some ground here. And they will be hosting the Boston Red Sox. Culp versus Wood. Can Wilbert Wood do it up here? He can. It's 4-2. Wood with the win, Culp with the loss. Lee May goes 2 for 4 with a triple. All right, game 2 of a doubleheader between Oakland and Cleveland. Can Cleveland take the doubleheader? Let's see. The White Sox hoping that'll happen. And indeed, it does. And I don't know why it's doing that. I must be double-clicking on the mouse or something. Colbert with the win for the Indians. So the Indians playing a little spoiler role here. Blue Moon Odom gets the loss. Reggie Jackson 1 for 2, hits his 23rd home run, and he walked twice. Astros should have been banging on trash cans back in 1971, says John. All right. Now we got another twin bill going on here. So Chicago gets a favor from Cleveland. Can Chicago take 2 from the Boston Red Sox and gain a little bit more ground. Right now, 2 behind Oakland. So Peters versus Romo. And this time, Boston playing the spoilers. They defeat the White Sox 6-4 in 11 innings. This would have been a good one. Bolin with the win, Johnson with the loss. Morales goes 3 for 5 with a double. A meaningless game here, Senators and the Brewers. And Washington blanks the Brewers 7-0. And let's just see what kind of zero this was. This was a 5-hitter pitched by Schellenbach. So, all right. Not going to spend too much time on that. Chicago Cubs, New York Mets. So Pirates watching this one with great interest. And the Chicago Cubs do the Pittsburgh Pirates a solid and defeat the New York Mets 2-1. Pizarro gets the win. Tom Seaver gets the loss. Cleon Jones goes 2 for 4 with a home run. So that's the lone run in that Mets game. Yankees and the Twins, Stottlemyre versus Luber. Here we go. Almost hit play on that one. Yankees edge the Twins 4-3. Stottlemyre picks up the win. Ron Peronoski takes the loss. Lyndon McDaniel picks up the save in that game. All right. Next up, we got the Reds and the Dodgers. So the Dodgers now 1 game below 500, 11.5 out. And Cincinnati pretty much finished. So we'll just autoplay this one. Cincinnati Reds defeat the Dodgers 5-2. McLaughlin with the win, Brewer with the loss. Pete Rose, what a day he had. 4 for 5 with a double and a stolen base. This is going to be a doubleheader between the Pirates and the Giants, and I may just do a doubleheader for that. So we're going to leave the Pirates alone. Cardinals and Phillies both out of it pretty much. Phillies defeat the Cardinals 9-3. Fryman with the win, Zachary with the loss. Johnson 2 for 3, 2 doubles. Important game here is California and Detroit both in contention. Oh, God, do we do this game? We save this game. Yes, we do. All right. Let's go down to Washington and Milwaukee. And Washington defeats Milwaukee 7-2. Gogolewski with the win. Lockwood with the loss. Billings 1 for 5 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. Braves and the Padres. Braves take this one from the Padres 4-3. Jarvis with the win. Kirby with the loss. Barton 2 for 4. It's a 6th home run and a double. So we have left a doubleheader between the Pirates and the Giants, and a game between the Angels and the Tigers, as California right now just 4.5 out. You're welcome, JT. Take care, my brother. And well, guys, we'll see you soon. And that is it. We are done. And fairly quick broadcast here, an hour and 3 minutes. We haven't done a long Beatles Eternally family broadcast in a long time. So I want to thank JT Dutch, John DFW, Mark Unger, Basement Box Scores. Again, check out that great channel. John DFW, I always say his name twice. I have to. D. Scott Howard. Thank you, D. Scott Howard. D. Smith, who got our presidential trivia right and given Action PC a pass here on Poor Plays. Aaron Reed, the man of 1,000 voices, was here. Hot Wheels head-to-head racing. Great channel. He races actual Hot Wheels, guys. Really super cool. Craig Scarborough. I'm so sorry I missed you, Craig. I didn't see you coming in, man. Yikes. I hate when I miss people coming in. That's what happens when I pay attention to the game. It happens, man. So I'm so sorry, Craig Scarborough. Excellent. Enzo the Picker. He says James K. Polk is his default guest when he gets presidential. That's nice. I like it. All right. Okay. Blah, 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 Mike Sports Time Machine did an all-star game tonight earlier on his channel. Philip Reynolds was here. Going to get to see his sister, he says. So that's good. And Brother Jack Dawson was also here. So, guys, that is it. And till the next time, we'll see you around the batting cage.